It's Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo. Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White Gay in the building. Yo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have two shots. First is today is Temidire's birthday, my grandson. Temidire, and I told his mother to make sure that she's watching.
Happy birthday, Temidire.
Happy birthday, Temidire. You are 6 today.
Wow.
Yes, so he's lost a tooth.
Like yesterday.
Yes, so can you imagine? It's 6
yes,
years.
6 years already.
Since I said I'm going, and I went for 2 months for his birth. I remember everything like it was yesterday. I love you, I miss you, and I hope to see you very soon.
I guess going again.
Going again. And what else do you want to say?
I wanted to say thank you to Freshola.
Yes, Freshola gave us.
They did that. I thought it was so. I opened the box yesterday. I was like, wow. I must say thank you to them. Thank you.
Really
Big thank you. I just love the way they put our pictures and you wrote Dear Yenny and that's so sweet. Thank you.
How you doing?
Day.
I said imagine.
It's okay, it's okay.
Nima, you and I are pinking today.
You know, as a third child, I get called my younger sister all the time. Growing up, all the time. Nobody knew who Nima was in my family for a very long time. He said, Miriam, I'm like, are you not Khadija? Okay. And so I got used to that.
No, but Morayo's own is.
I always call her very well.
She's knocking.
It wasn't old age. Just back then. I wanted to say
those people that did it too.
I'm not very far from menopause.
She might even say.
I'm very far from menopause.
You know,
I'm a young girl.
She might even say today is Tuesday. Very soon.
You're throwing jabs, Abi.
No.
Okay, keep throwing jabs. I'll catch you. How are you doing, Elijah Nima?
And my darling Aima reminded me yesterday. I didn't even remember. She said, Mommy, it's International Day for the Boy Child tomorrow. And I said, thank you. I didn't remember. But this is a day to raise the advocacy for the rights of the boy child. We focus so much on the girl child. Enough is said about the girl child. While we did that, we've neglected a very important part of society, which is the boy child. We're seeing issues today. We're seeing, sexual orientations, things that, we left unattended because we thought the boy child would take care of himself. And I hope that every mother that has a son and every family that has a boy start to do what is important.
I think I'll take my boys out today, now that you mentioned this. Amaka Fresh in the building. You've been gone for a while. I've not seen you in a minute.
Yeah, I've not even seen myself in a minute.
You going up and down traveling or what?
No, like walk everywhere. Yes, yeah, I'm good. Just here, surviving. Yes, being happy.
You don't have that Amaka bubbly self. I didn't see it.
I'm looking for money.
We're all looking for money. Join the line. Yeah, we're all in this together.
Yeah. So it's nice. I'm for the advocate for the boy child.
Yeah.
So the awareness is there. They need to push for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that because people are not really talking about it. So yeah, that's a good one. So please take your boys out today.
Yes, I will take them. So the school told us to get them to wear jerseys. Unfortunately, we're not a football family. We don't have any club that we follow. But Elizabeth suddenly started liking one of the teams. So she insisted I went to go and buy a jersey for the kids, the teams she liked. I bought that yesterday. I don't want to mention the team because wahala. I was just like, his father was like, what's all this? We don't do football in this house. What's all this nonsense? But my son is still having issues because he's getting teased by his friends because he doesn't follow football. And he's feeling the pressure that, Mommy, I need to get into football. So my driver said that he's been asking him about football questions. They've been discussing football. I'm like, really?
Some boys don't really like football, and I think it's not a bad thing.
But he's getting teased about it. So he feels that pressure that he needs to know about football.
He shouldn't feel the pressure. You have to now convince him or make sure that he doesn't feel inadequate.
I have tried.
Because what he wants, if he's interested, because the family is not a football family. If he's interested, let him explore.
Yeah, but he's not interested, is the problem.
He's doing computer stuff.
He's asking questions.
He's asking, well, maybe now, see, I have left him to go and find out. So he's asking the driver, and they are talking about it.
Why not take him to see a match and just see how he feels? If he's bored, that ends it.
I'll try to help him because he just really wants to get into football. All right.
I didn't know that Temidire was born on the day of the International Boy Child.
Yes, so imagine he's going to be a great man leader in the future. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, stars our gisting day, but first, let's get the serious stuff out of the way. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let's start with the nation. Government's 48,000 naira offer breaks up the new minimum wage talks. 530 CNG buses for deployment in Lagos, Oyo, Kwara, FCT, and others. Marginal 0.49% rise in inflation rates raises hope. WAEC to begin CBT in November, WASI. BOI to extend single-digit loan to media. Emefiele charged with unlawful printing of new naira notes. Wogu Abe defend Wike's integrity. And building a good society takes time, says Kuka. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Major headline.
Yeah, major headline.
So, yes, the tripartite committee have scattered on their virtual meeting yesterday, where Labour totally disagreed with the federal government proposal of 48,000 as opposed to their 615,000, which they consider a living wage. Labour is saying 615 is what reflects what is available in our society. In that meeting, that is made up of the state government, the federal government, organized private sector, and Labour, they were opposed to they called it regressive, and a reduction of wage for the federal government to be proposing 48,000 naira. They said it's even lower than what the federal government workers take home, which is 77,000, and that 77,000 is broken down as 30,000 as mandated by law, 12,000 peculiar allowance, and the 35,000 wage award that the federal, which makes up the total package of a federal worker. The organized private sector, on their own part, are proposing 54,000 naira, saying that already the lowest that they pay in the organized private sector is 78,000. And so everybody could not find an agreement. Everybody scattered. Labour staged a walkout.
Yeah.
That's the TUC and the NLC.
So the Minister for Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, spoke yesterday. He broke the news that the media organizations are to be granted access to single-digit interest rates loan from Bank of Industry. He said that the president had directed the bank to extend its business-friendly facility to media outfits without bias to their ownership. So what this means is that many media organizations can have access to loans for production of different media projects they plan to. Idris was speaking yesterday, said that the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, under his leadership, was part of 5 pillars, will support media platforms in this country, whether they are public or private. The president has directed that the Federal Ministry of Trade, Investment and Media Organizations to give them a single-digit interest rate. More importantly, which I think is even very critical for us, he has also directed that ARCON, that's the Advertising Regulatory Commission of Nigeria, must ensure that all advertising revenue due to media organizations are released to them promptly. Media organizations have had problems with this because they're not getting paid by various organizations who owe them money for advertisements and sponsorship. So I'm really happy that they've directed it, and hopefully they can comply.
Okay, so I have the deployment of compressed national gas vehicles, which has commenced. Not less than 530 buses are to be deployed by the end of the month in 6 pioneering states. The states are Oyo, Lagos, Kwara, Kogi, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and the Federal Capital Territory, of course. The program director, Mr. Michael Oluwabemi, stated that it's going to be a 15-day-long activity commencing the rollout. He also stated that President Tinubu has directed the PCNGI to ensure the conversion of at least 10% of the total number of vehicles in the country in the first year of the rollout of the initiative. He also stated that the team will inspect the jet and Meccano factories, commencing this rollout with representatives of the Ministry of Labour and Workers' Union. He also stated that there would also be a 6-day inspection tour of the Kojo factory at the Enugu-Onitsha site, which will begin on May 24th to receive the first set of assembly tricycles, buses, cylinders, and kits ahead of the official launch. Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mr. Kiru Onyeji-Ocha, urged Nigerians to back the initiative, because if Nigerians don't back the initiatives, it cannot work. If Nigerians don't convert or buy those type of vehicles, it will not work. Addressing stakeholders at the event center in Ikeja, She said the ministry was mobilizing all workers to key into the program and embrace the transition from fossil fuel-dependent vehicles to CNG.
Yeah, so our former CBN Governor, Emefiele, has pleaded not guilty to the alleged unlawful printing of the new Naira notes. Apparently, he's supposed to have printed he was accused of approving the withdrawal of 124 billion from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation in a manner not prescribed by the National Assembly. He was also supposed to have printed, I'm not sure of the amount, but almost triple the amount of the old Naira notes to new Naira notes. He has pleaded not guilty and he has been given a 300 million Naira bail.
Oh, wow.
With,
a lot of money.
Yeah, with two shorties who must submit their passports.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
And they will have properties of 300 million and it must be made.
Yes. Do you remember that when he did that printing, the president in a video endorsed it?
Yes, I remember now.
So I don't understand how we're prosecuting one person and leaving out. He endorsed it. Yes, I am suggesting, based on my Nigerian knowledge, that the president agreed.
And no,
all right, let's move on. It's not a hot topic.
They're even saying the president did not know.
He did not know what
About
the one that he said that we are not going back.
That's part of the.
He said they were not going back.
What the prosecution is saying
Can
that
we move
he
on?
did it without the approval of the president. And me, as far as I remember, president approved.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he heard it, but he didn't understand it. The punch. Yeah, now. No, Wale Soyinka told us that he's not really an economist like that. He's an integrity.
Well, he went to
The
endorse.
punch. Let's move on. It's not a hot topic, please.
Thank you.
Minimum wage. Labour dumps negotiation over federal government's 48,000 naira proposal. Biden world leaders condemn shooting of Slovak Prime Minister. Oyo set for Ibadan's coronation. Buries Balogun June 1st. Autopsy failed to reveal cause of Mohbad's death, says pathologist. Emefiele implemented Naira swap without Buhari's approval, says EFCC. FGI's $2.7 billion revenue from marine sector. Rivers waves off 5 pro-Wike commissioners' resignation. Western democracy model not working for Nigeria, Obasanjo insists. And Tinubu to tackle power outages with 2 gas plants. Okay.
So Oyo has announced that they will be doing the burial for the late Olubadan, Oba Leko Balogun, who passed on. They'll be doing his burial for June 1st. The state burial, although he has been buried according to Islamic rites. And the coronation date for the new incoming Oba, who is Oba Olakuleyin, Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin, would be announced immediately after the burial rites. So we're waiting June 1st. All parties, Ibadan party.
Okay, so this was all over the
We have to go on a break, sorry. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Okay.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. What's the story?
Okay, so I was saying that this was all over the news yesterday, sad one, and I hope he's okay. World leaders reacted with shock and condemnation after Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico suffered life-threatening gunshot wounds on Wednesday, what officials said was an assassination attempt. They should be more like Nigerians and have DSS, have everybody, a lot of security. Not these Igbo people, like to move around by themselves. The shooting took place in the town of Handlova, about 90 miles northeast of the capital, Bratislava, as Fico emerged from a government meeting, according to CBS News. According to a statement on the PM's Facebook page, he was shot multiple times and was in critical condition. Yes, and I heard the person was right there shooting. So I was wondering, what happened to his security detail? Dramatic footage from the scene in central Slovakia showed security agents grabbing a wounded Fico from the ground and hustling him into a black car and sped away as police handcuffed a person on the pavement. They said the man is currently under detention. AFP reports that police detained him and that they are all shocked by the terrible and heinous attack, and that he's in critical condition and that we hope he has a safe recovery and No, nothing serious actually happens to him.
Yeah, the result of the autopsy conducted on the body of the late singer Ileri Oluwa,
yeah.
also known as Mohbad, says it's unable to ascertain the cause. He died on the, I checked the date. Anyway, he died on the 16th, I think. Oh, no, I checked the date.
You understand your age, Mikey. It's understandable. You understand. We don't expect you to know
He died
the
on the
dates.
12th of
We don't expect you to know the
September.
dates. Just go ahead.
He died on the 12th of September, but yeah, you have got your own back, Abby. Don't worry, today is today. You will not go escape. So, the autopsy, his body was exhumed on the 22nd. And so they said the body, it was too decomposed for them to ascertain the cause of death. But they haven't got the full pathologist report. They will bring that out. But as this was given by the lawyer Wahab Chitu, who says that, well, people should not just go about speculating that.
I thought an autopsy can be done at any time, even after a couple of years. What has the composition of a body?
That's what
Depends on the part
surprised
of
me.
the body they
That's
need.
weird.
All right, so let me take
But
this
they said they
story.
suspect it was to do with the drugs he was given at the hospital.
So let me, our former president is saying exactly what we have been saying from gazillion years ago. Former president Olusegun Obasanjo has voiced his backing for the current movement, advocating that Nigeria should do away with the current presidential system. He highlighted the importance of adopting a system that effectively addresses Nigeria's unique problems, I would say Africa's unique problems, at a meeting with a group of 60 members of the House of Representatives pushing for a return to the parliamentary system in Abuja. He was speaking, and let me quote him specifically. He said, "Our journey began on an unstable foundation, which is Western liberal democracy. This system, inherited from a colonial past, has fueled our problems. It's now our responsibility to chart a new course. Western liberal democracy introduced the concept of opposition, equating it to enmity. Yet, there's nothing inherently African about this model. It's time to redefine our path." I've been saying this for years, and I'm so happy that gradually people are seeing it. We need to review
With due
our
respect
current...
to him, for someone that wanted a third term, he should not be speaking.
What?
Yes.
Well,
What?
Amaka, I can't love you
With
any...
due respect to him, for a president that wanted a
Hello?
third term, should not be saying
Have you been
this.
to Kigali recently? Some people are doing multiple terms and their country is moving forward. So let's leave the third terms. Yes, it was alien to us, but it could have actually helped our country. It's not our hot topic.
Excuse me.
It's not our hot topic, YK.
No, it's not our hot topic. You shouldn't have read the story.
It's a story in the papers now.
No,
Moving on to Daily Sun.
It's our hot topic.
It's not a hot topic.
What nonsense. You
Daily
that you wanted
Sun.
to do third term.
You don't want
You
to
are not
come
telling
and
us
talk
democracy
about
is not
democracy
good.
is not good. Very fun.
Others will say, let us do our own
And
third
then we can
term.
talk
So
about it
then,
later.
Maybe the third term could have helped us. You don't know. It could have helped us.
it would have helped us do what now?
No, because
Stay in
sometimes
democracy
you
or-
need time to make changes. You can't fix the country in 8 years. After years of decadence, you can't fix it in 8 years. Sometimes you need 16 years.
the
You need
Constitution
more
should have
years.
continuity so
Yeah,
that-
so they can review the Constitution. Moving on to Daily
The
Sun.
person he handed over to
Daily
was-
Sun, yo, please. Today's Daily Sun.
such a good day.
Senate moves against government on local government autonomy. Judiciary, biggest threat to Nigeria, says Peter Obi. Labour rejects federal government's 48,000 naira. We talked about that earlier. Tinubu inaugurates 3 gas projects. Nigeria's inflation rate rises to 33.6%. Article hits
We didn't
federal
hear.
government. Federal government.
We didn't hear.
Article- What did you hear?
Inflation rises to what?
Heavy.
How can we laugh about
too heavy.
It's too serious.
It's too serious.
She's been
Article hits federal government over plans to use 20 trillion naira pension funds to build infrastructure. 5 pro-Wike commissioners quit Fubara's cabinet. And FG subsidizes 2024 Hajj with 90 billion naira, says Shetima. Which story are we taking in?
That going should be a hot topic.
Major headline. So, a motion sponsored by Suleiman Kawu of the MPP in Kano South has argued that key national challenges must be addressed. If key national challenges must be addressed, local government institutions must be revived. He is arguing that, the state governments have completely made redundant local governments. They also said that the state governors are misappropriating funds allocated to local government council, claiming that some of these chairmen are made to sign off their checks to governors who in turn pay peanuts to them. They're also asking the president, they gave him some points of agenda that he must address. He said, number one, the president must champion the cause of full autonomy for local governments. They said that he must immediately disable payments to all those caretaker committee local governments that heads, all those local governments headed by caretaker committee. The president must immediately stop allocation to them. They're also saying that the challenges we face, including persistent security and threats, rural-urban migration, decaying infrastructure, widespread unemployment, demand bold action. And we believe that empowering the local governments holds the key to unlocking a brighter future for all Nigerians. They said the president should convene a national dialogue involving governors, state legislators, local government officials, civil society organizations, community leaders to discuss the roadmap towards achieving full local government autonomy.
Right.
And he must also use his leadership to influence to persuade the federating units and all critical stakeholders in the constitutional alteration and processes and administration. But the one that they said, plenty, but there's this one they're asking the president to champion the amendment of the constitution, changes to the constitution to enshrine and guarantee genuine independence for local government. And
very, very long.
You people are the Senate.
Right.
Why does the president need to champion that? But I'm aware that, President Buhari ensured the local government autonomy. So the local government chairman should stop being, puppets of the governors.
Okay, so...
Daily Sun?
Yes, Daily Sun. So Peter Obi took a jab at the judiciary. I'm a bit offended, though.
Oh, you took that story. Okay, you didn't start it, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So he said that although that there are still a few good judges and justices, the situation was worrisome and a threat to the future of the nation, and advocated stronger institutions and standard rule of laws to save the country's future and democracy. He said this in a keynote speech he delivered titled "The Role of the Judiciary in Shaping the Nigeria's Future." He said that when the rule of law is compromised, the most vulnerable are the members of society, and that the fabric of our society begins to fray. The integrity of our institutions, the protection of human rights, and the stability of our nation are all jeopardized. At least he acknowledged the fact that there are still a few good judges, but that there's a decline amongst the judiciary. Exactly.
Right.
This is a jab at us. We're not finding this funny.
Okay, I wanted to take the presidential fleet. The House of Representatives have said that they're going to summon the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, over the faulty aircrafts. They said this at a press briefing yesterday. They said that our president had to take a chartered flight from Saudi Arabia to the United Kingdom on his last trip because the plane developed a fault. They said the vice president, 1 hour into his flight, had to turn back because the plane developed a fault. He says this is the presidential fleet and that it's a very sorry situation that the nation should find itself.
Right.
He said if the speaker can find itself in this situation, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. The life and security of our president, indeed, and the sovereignty of this country is at stake. Exactly. But the minority leader, Kingsley Chinda, said there is nothing wrong with public officials using public transportation. In Britain, the Prime Minister uses BA and blah, blah, blah. So,
Vanguard, moving on quickly. Edo Guba Obaseki warns of politicians against frustrating Palace Enigye peace talk. Article kicks against federal government's plan to borrow pension funds. Rivers crisis, 5 pro-Wike commissioners resign. Governors have killed local government, says Senate. And CNG, nationwide deployment begins May 29th. Okay, so a story. The former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, has told the federal government to discard any plans to access the pension fund for investment in infrastructure. Remember, I took that story a couple of days ago. And the federal government was saying that they need to have a conversation with the private sector to see how they can access the 20 trillion naira of pension fund available within the country. But Atiku Abubakar is speaking up, saying that my attention is drawn to the disturbing disclosure by the finance minister and coordinating minister of the economy, Wale Edun, as he addressed saying that they're going to be taking 20 trillion naira from the nation's pension fund. He said that that he has told them to desist from doing that. He said that he provided no useful details, such as the percentage of the funds to be mopped from these pension funds, for example. And he also, it's another attempt to penetrate illegality by the federal government, And the federal government must be cautioned to act strictly within the provisions of the Pension Reform Act of 2014. Okay, I think we have to wrap up. Any other major story that we...
Yeah.
Go ahead, YK.
I was going to take the one in the Tribune that a man bombs a Kano mosque in protest over inheritance. Did you take it?
Let me just take Nigerian Tribune quickly, very quickly. Why I bombed Kano mosque, says suspect. Tinubu must not fiddle with Nigeria's pension funds, says article. Senate in fresh move to secure autonomy for local governments. And Undo APC internal crisis deepens as Ward Exco suspends Jimo Ibrahim. Okay.
Yeah, he said he had a problem with the inheritance. So he made a petrol bomb, locked the mosque with the people inside there. I think there were 40 people inside. 25 people got injured, and then he bombed it.
Locked them in.
Locked them in. And then when they asked him, he said it was because he had a problem with the inheritance.
They
So
said,
I don't know
his
if
family did not share their inheritance, and it was changed in how the inheritance was shared.
So is it the people that shared the inheritance that were inside the mosque?
So
That's what I'm not sure.
To any inheritance, there are portions apportioned already by God, and they are given like that. They are not, there's no shortchanging. Maybe he wanted something bigger. But I don't know how those people too developed the sharing. It's a very difficult.
We have to wrap up. We can't take any more
Do you
stories.
think he has psychological problems?
I think so.
I think that is... Oh, this Jimo Ibrahim story, nobody read it. Ha. Thanks for staying with us. So Senator Ndume is trending on social media. He had an interview where he was speaking about corruption in the Nigerian way. According to him, corruption by politicians in Nigeria have some kind of a human face, such that it's about the people, not about personal needs. What he said specifically was, when politicians steal in this part of the country, in this part of the world, they steal to share. Now, we also like to link that to what our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, said earlier, saying that the liberal democracy that we're practicing doesn't work for us, because we need to redefine what democracy is here. Now, if we juxtapose that to what happens during the elections, where they said politics is local, people want to be given, fed, they want to be cared for, they want to be continually catered to in different ways. So pay for their children's school fees, pay for the father's burial, pay for this. That's what they expect of politicians, not for infrastructural development necessarily, but primarily to just meet their daily needs. So if we link all that up together, I think we had a conversation yesterday, Nima, also of a related topic, where we're saying politics is local. So here is Senator Ndume saying that people are accused of corruption. But corruption here has a human face. It's not that the kind of corruption abroad where you steal every money for your personal needs. Here, we steal it to share. Because if you don't share, you will not come back.
You know?
Nima, want to start?
You can start, because honestly,
But
these people are
it's
crazy.
a bitter truth. Most politicians steal for their personal gains. We've seen them. We've seen Obiano, whose house video in the US surfaced after his term in office. But we also know that it's grassroots thing. Politics is local. And our people have a way of bringing their... If you have one big man in the family, you will see his family members always, full in his house.
Yes, sir.
Let the man get old and fall sick and not be weak and frail. His house will become empty again. So imagine that such a person held an office. I remembered my late dad when he joined the multinational and they moved to Eket. We had a full house. Relatives everywhere. He's late now. Go to the house.
Empty.
Everywhere is empty. So it's the same thing when it comes to politics. Everybody will now have something they are doing. Their families will move on, you know. But what he's saying is so true.
Like, do you agree?
You go to your political leader when your father dies. Former Kogi State Governor had said some people were bringing their burial bills to him, and so he approved ₦1 million per person for burial.
Wow.
In Kogi State. So who were the people that were collecting this money?
Where did he even get the money from?
No,
His personal property. It's government's money now.
Imagine.
They have voted him into government, and how he represents them is to carry all their burden. You know, it's not, you know, how the policies that he does for education works, how their kids get free access to education. No, that's not their concern. It's how much money he gives them and how many Hajj he sends them. And wherever he gets the money, it's not of anybody's business.
Okay, do you agree that it's...
I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't even agree that they share it with the people. Because if you steal 1 million and you share 50,000 inside that 1 million with the people, it hasn't gone round. But what I'm going to say here is that, you see, the problem I'm having with our politicians is their myopic thinking. They think, you know, the topic you discussed yesterday, his own project was to marry out 100 women. The other one was to give them funeral clothes. They don't think of the development of their local governments, of their villages. Because if I were them, what I would be thinking of, how do I develop this village? How do I give them constant water? Not borehole, running pipe-borne water. Like when they open their taps, they start from there. Start from lights, start from water. Start building community hospitals, building community schools, and making sure that is what I would say they should do. Not be giving them, because if you can teach a man how to fish or give him, if you give a man fish or you teach him out, which one are you? You know, so what they're doing is just giving you peanuts.
Oh, okay,
so if a politician, let me finish. If a politician gives you any small change, he's not helping you. He's only depriving you further.
Exactly.
Because tomorrow you will still be hungry. And
is it not based on how you see it?
A beggar.
So again, it goes back to how we see it.
It's not based on how I see it. Let me tell you why it's not based on how I see it. I have to get my train of thoughts. You see, what has happened? We have become a beggar nation.
Yeah.
You cannot go on the streets. The street is full of young boys who are asking you for money all the time, because that is now the trend. Just ask. Ask and you shall. Don't go and work. Ask. But the person you ask, you are forgetting that person is working and may start to resent you. For why? Just because you are hailing me, I must give you money? No. So we have become a beggar nation, and it is this attitude that this Ndume is. I mean, he's not even afraid to come and say it on national TV.
Okay, let me come to you, Amaka.
So for me, it's worrisome that a senator publicly say this and, you know, acknowledge corruption, acknowledge politicians stealing, and even like trying to justify the theft by saying that they don't just steal for personal use, that they steal to distribute. Like, as in, how is that even okay? I find that, as in, and these are the people that are seated there. This is worrisome. Like, as in, how do you even begin to wrap your head around it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's sad because, so if this is actually what they believe, then we're in trouble as a nation. Then what's the way forward? That means they'll continue staying, because if you're using money, by the time they put money together to run elections, election is not like business where investors now put in money because they expect to reap the benefits after. So a politician, when you get elected, you must steal for the investors to recoup their funds. What's the ripple effect on the economy? Like, what's the precedent for the people, the precedent for the younger generation coming up that want to take political office?
Going back to what Nima said earlier, saying that we can actually sit down here and discuss the ideal, or what actually happens. Because the truth is that a politician's job is to come and ensure that he provides the economic growth for his people, security, and the whole works for his people. Now, to get that, he needs money. Yes or no? Even churches, they need money. If you want the money there, wait, hang it there. I'm trying to say something. Politicians will tell you that I need money to do a lot of things. Now, there's money you get constituency project, and there's other money you get because there's only so much you can get with constituency project you can use for. However, many of them still, according to what Ndume is saying, that we are stealing because the demand is high. We have to share this money. I can use constituency project to build a school, but the extra money I get is to be paying school fees and be helping with burials. That is people's daily need. It's not enough.
This is not enough to rely on only your salaries, allowances, and maybe constituency project to remain relevant as a representative of the people in any capacity, governor, a senator, House of Reps, or House of Assembly member. It is not enough. That's what he's saying. And in the Nigerian public discourse, the book that former Governor Fashola wrote, you can see a documentary evidence of, the things that we need to change as a people to allow government people face governance. Our people will come for, sir, help me with this, call for that. Per constituencies. Constituency offices are full with appeals in one way or the other that is not focused on governance. That is only personal. And if you don't get it, it's not in the airports. And that is enough for a politician who is a career politician to lose office. We have certain habits and practices that we do as a people that we must drop. In that book, if you remember when we read it, that we must let go of as a people if our politicians can then be held accountable for politicking. But so, if you represent them in Niger State, for instance, and you think, I'm a speaker, my business is to make only lawmaking, and somebody else comes from nowhere and comes and sponsors single orphans who need to get married, that person becomes more relevant.
And unseats you.
And unseats you. That's the reality. And Ndume is coming up. I hate the part that he's endorsing corruption, but he's admitting something that we know is in our
happens, and we're pretending it's not happening.
It doesn't happen.
So it now goes back to what our former president was saying, that if we're going to really fix this country, because I was watching a movie some weeks back. I think it was set in either in Indonesia or Malaysia, and it was a water community, and it was like our own Makoko here. And these are people that they are fishermen. They love their craft. They've perfected it, and it's gone from generations to generation. They're not building high flyers. They're not building big schools. They're not looking for all those foreign edifices that makes us feel as if, yes, we are modern and we are in the 21st century. They were fine in their village. They were happy in their village. But they had electricity. They had the basics. So it's not about you building infrastructure to impress your people. It's about giving them what they need. If they choose to live in that community, that's where they want to be. But help them in where they are, not how you think they should be. Am I making sense?
Exactly.
So if politicians are saying, listen, if you're accusing a politician for not building a big school, he's saying the people in that community, they're not looking for school. They want to get married, they want to be set, they want to have their family, they want to be cared for. They're okay. Shouldn't we accept and respect that? Must we insist that until I see those big schools, those big bridges, that is development?
You might have big schools that are empty.
But then you also need to key into what's the nation? You're a third world country. Yeah. You're trying to get away from that. So you can't do that by relying on people that live in certain communities that don't want to grow. Right? You can't say because certain citizens, since the Igbo people have been fighting for independence, so that's what we want. Why don't they give it to us? Is that what we're saying? Life doesn't work that way. We're a country, we're a nation, and we want to grow. It is the job of the politicians that we've elected into office to tell us what should be better for us, what should be best for us to grow as a nation, to grow as an economy. Not what I want as an individual or as a citizen because of my own selfish nature, or because of my own tiny little
my own
brain.
understanding.
My own understanding. Because we elect someone in office because I believe that you should have a broader knowledge of how to take me forward, of how we can move forward as a country. So that does not, for me, that doesn't...
Let me take this call.
Well.
Thank you. Hamed. Oh, I lost that caller.
You see, there's a local, I can't remember his name. I watched
I have
him.
to go on a break, Mike. I'm so sorry. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing Senator Ndume. There's another thing he said that we've not touched on. He said that those who steal $1 billion should not deserve to be, they don't deserve death penalty. Only those who steal like trillions, those ones can be killed.
Oh my God.
But the ones in $1 billion, life imprisonment.
You know why that
mindset.
statement came up? Because they said because they have passed a bill, drug peddlers should be executed.
Yes.
Now, he's saying, so they're asking, when you are saying drug peddlers should be executed, both of the politicians. So he's saying that no, those still small, give them jail sentence, maybe life. The trillions should be executed because they have deprived many people. You know, I was going to talk about this. There's this, I can't remember his name. I watched him on TVC, local government chairman in Rivers State. If you see how he has done his local government, he has built hospitals, he has built...
Which state?
Rivers State. I mean, what he has done there...
Did you and I not go to one state where they built hospitals and there was no doctor in there?
That's Senate president that built it there. When he
So again,
was sick, he traveled.
But again, you see, that's a problem, Waike. Don't you see, therein lies the problem. So for you, as a politician, you go and build that high-rise as a hospital. Just say that I have ticked that box. But the people might not need that kind of thing. All they need is the primary health care centers, multiple across the neighborhoods, that they have access to. Not those big
Even the
projects.
politician's intention in building legacy project is not that of the people.
Exactly. It's usually not of the people.
It's not of the people. What is practical is what Lagos State had to do. They were forced to do. So people are not going to the hospitals and the primary health care centers to have their babies. They were, patronizing birth attendants.
Yes.
Simple. The state had to react to what the people are disposed to do by training those birth attendants to ensure that we reduce infant mortality and childbirth issues at those centers. Because whether or not you like the and the state reacted, which is what I think that there's something called sociology of law where you make laws, the society and their ways will start to react, either clashing or reforming those laws over time. And we have all these laws that we have in Nigeria here imported. We see the bill as we pass in the UK, we watch it for a few systems. We now say that the Nigerian system has enacted a bill of such a nature. And we'll be using the Marriage Act, very, very foreign to us, because we are a polygamous community. And the British who are one man, one wife, whether it works for them or doesn't work for them, will support their bills and bring here and make laws of them. Our society will continue to clash with them, where you see the man will marry one in church, marry one in the tradition, marry another one when he becomes a chief, clashing with it. How can we now bring our ways into what our people know? Yesterday's topic, we kept arguing that the minister did not try to understand the Niger State people. As that this morning, League of Imams said it was an insult. So number one, alleged that they were minors because she did not have that fact. Number two, to come at the people. They took it personal. Because they are a people. Amaka, that's your example of a national body as against local bodies. That was the fault. The move to want to become a nation is that of a region. The nation itself and the region will have a clash. But the people of a region cannot be made. For instance, I come now and say, no, it is compulsory for young girls in that place to marry early. Or it is compulsory, something totally adverse to their custom and ways and practices. So it will always clash. this tradition of us doing elaborate burial and all of that is strange to certain places. Absolutely. It is simple burial in other places. In other places, party must happen if you're,
yes.
if you're old.
That's why somebody wake up tomorrow and say stop spraying, because in his own mind. Because in his own mind, you don't have to spray. But some people, spraying is part of who we are. I mean, no, don't disrespect the Naira. Yeah. Definitely don't step on the Naira. But we spray because it's a thing of dignity, to share in your joy and give you money just to thank you. So again, governance, politics is local. We must stop trying to always bring in the Western ways of doing the practices into how we do every single thing. So going back to what Ndume said, I know why he was responsible. Yeah. Going back to what Ndume said, let's go back to his specifics. Yes. Let me read what he said specifically. He said our corruption is very small. It's a very small one. Our corruption is people-driven. Is that wrong? Because we are all collecting money to give. To driver, to security guard, to police, everybody's collecting money. To all the big men. I'm just saying, based on what he's saying, all the big men that you see, they are distributing money. Some of them, you enter their car, they have bags of money because they're distributing the money they stole.
Because if they come back, they must spend money.
You steal money, you go and share with people. If you don't, you're not coming back for 4 years. So some people will go and keep it. So he acknowledges that some people will go and keep the money. Others will share the money.
So you spend 4 years just pulling money together and stealing money.
That is what I'm saying. It is because of these politicians, and because I won't even say just the politicians, even the military before them. Yeah. They have ingrained it in our psyche that it must drop new. And we too, we will sit down and be expecting. And when it doesn't drop, we say, really?
It didn't work.
It didn't drop. But it is because we have been trained to expect
training you. You're not an adult. How would you make it? Why you got to that you accept?
Excuse me.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up.
No, before we wrap up, I have to say one thing about the Western. You see, is it not inside this country? I was watching when Prince and Princess Harry came from, and everybody, all the TV stations, oh, Prince and Princess Harry, oh, they were Meghan. And I was saying,
Meghan and
Harry. With these two people, if they are coming, let them come and go.
They are
not even acknowledged in their own kidney. And then you say, oh, the princess and the bear and the hand.
I must talk.
Did you conduct chess? Did you conduct chess?
I must talk.
So this is colonial thing. So we can't leave it.
We can have visitors in my country.
But we can't.
Let me let Amaka wrap up so we can move on.
A whole
national. Everybody stops.
The Prime Minister of London.
We have to run
down because one duke came.
Unfortunately, we have two guests that has to come. We have to wrap up. I'm sorry, I can't let you wrap up.
Okay.
You have to run. Okay. So that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we bring in our next guest. Stay with our first guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So once in a while, when we come across amazing women, we have to bring them on the show to feature them, just to show the amazing work women are doing. So joining us now is a distinguished robotics and embedded system engineer with over 11 years of exceptional tech expertise, the founder of NextWear. And also, her name is Kemisola Bolarinwa. She's also a distinguished robotics and embedded system engineer. Through her NextWear technologies, Kemisola designs and develops innovative technology, one close to body, addressing health-related challenges while seemingly blending fashion and safety. Welcome with us as she joins us from her Abuja studio. Welcome, Kemisola.
Thank you.
Good to have you. So we see all the amazing work you're doing in robotics. Tell us, how did you come about getting into robotics?
Oh, well, I actually have a background in engineering,
I've always been an innovative person. I'm driven by innovation when you talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So it's a passion that I've built right from my secondary school days, college days. So after I finished from college, I moved to study electrical electronics from my first degree. So after the first degree, I have to move forward and exploit more. So that was how I came about robotics, and I go into robotics and embedded system.
Wow.
Nice.
So I was really shocked to realize you had so many amazing awards. But I have to ask you, first of all, where's your first degree from? Is it Nigeria or abroad?
Nigeria.
First degree, exactly.
In fact, from my hometown.
Exactly.
Yeah, in Nigeria, University of Ado-Ekiti.
Wow.
Nice.
Because we always have a theory that many Nigerians who are doing amazing work, usually many of them have their first degrees here from Nigeria, but that's just by the way. So tell us about that. Well, let YK jump in.
I ask about the smart bra. I mean, that sounds like really, really amazing, and I would love to
have one. Tell us about the smart bra. What's that about?
Okay. The smart bra idea came in 2019. And it's as a result of I lost someone close, my auntie actually. I lost my auntie to breast cancer in 2017. So there, I was with her, taking care of her while she was at teaching hospital, Ibadan. So I could see that other women are also, going through this kind of disease, because that was the first time of me hearing that disease, breast cancer. I've never had it before. So seeing women like myself, even young women too, groaning in pains of breast cancer gave me concern. So when I now venture into wearable technologies where I'm working right now, that was the first thing that came to my mind, that I need to look for a solution, a very comfortable, smart solution that can help with early detection. So I went into research, and my research let me know that I realized that if you're able to detect at early stage, you have the chances of getting cured. And the problem here, using Nigeria as a case study right now, the problem is the screening technologies, the screening machines are not closer to the people. Women cannot really access those screening machines. You have to travel miles before you access mammogram. Let me use the typical one now, mammograms. Mammogram, you have to travel, from one state to another state for you to access mammograms. And it's not even something women can, can go for. Some women, they tell them once in a year. Some even once in 2 years before you could diagnose yourself with mammograms. And even aside that, it has age limitation. So if you're not 45 or 50, you cannot use mammograms. That is how ethic it is. So that made me go into research and see how I can change that perspective of early detection, and that brought about the bra. It's a smart bra in form of a cup. It's a form of a cup that women will put on. You put on the cup, it diagnoses you, and you see the result on your mobile or web application in form of image. So when you see the image, another technology is there that will transmit, that will translate the image for you. So you don't need to get a physician, you don't need a doctor to interpret the image. So you have another technology that will interpret the image. So that is just how it works. So easy to use.
So how accurate is this? Let's do a comparison. So I'm not 45 and I had to do breast examination at some point. They use something like an infra, something light to check around the breast. So is it at that stage that the smart bra works, or at a mammogram's efficiency stage?
Okay, it works at that early stage. It's just like other normal devices, like a glucometer. People now have glucometer in their houses. You have a BP monitoring machine in your houses. So same thing with the bra. So you have it in the house every morning, or you might decide to have it done maybe twice in a week. You get the device, you put it on, get to know your breast health. That is just the scenario. Know your breast health. So you get the device, wear it, when you see your breast health, if it's okay or if it's not okay, And when the device you diagnose yourself, and there's an abnormality in the breast, immediately the device will advise you to go for proper screening. So you have to go to the hospital for proper scanning, for proper diagnosis, yes.
Yes, so I can see that your passion and commitment to advancing technology is geared towards gender equality. Can you please expatiate on that? Thank you.
Well, you know, as a female engineer and, you know, looking at my the challenges I faced, actually, my challenges when I went, you know, got into the real world. When I was in college, you know, during my college days, I attended a girls' school, so I never know the real world is biased. So by the time I entered university, and I could see how the things were going, you know, finding yourself in a male-dominated field, you know, engineering, you know, the bias is there. In some situation, you know, some occasion, you might even try to, maybe a question was thrown into the class and you're trying to attempt the question, you know, the bias is there, no. They rather call the guys, or probably during practicals. Even the guys who say, don't worry, we'll do it for you. You know, the bias. And when I graduated and trying to get a job, you know, with my colleagues then, we started writing applications, and I realized that being a female engineer, because it's my passion, I want to go into, I want to practice as an engineer, but I wasn't given the opportunity. And I believe it was based on my gender. And that was why I actually took that personally. It's, you know, I took it personally to advocate for that bridge.
So this invention
around bridging that gap between, you know, in STEM generally. So we have like an equity in STEM.
Okay, so I mean, one of the reasons why we like to bring people like you on our show is just to show the amazing work women are doing out there. This invention, this smart bra, is it yet in the market? Are you still trying to get approvals for it? Is it in Nigeria? Is it abroad? How do people have access to it?
Okay, we are still developing. The first prototype was here in 2021. And ever since, we've got so many feedback from professionals, health professionals, even technology professionals, you know, giving us some ideas on how we could advance the technology. So we've been on that since 2021. No, it's an invention, something that we've not done before. So we need to step back and, you know, do more of R&D, research and development. So all through 2021 to this stage, we've came up with about 3 prototypes, working prototypes. So currently now, I can remember then we were not working with imaging. Our results are not coming out with image. But after we advanced technology, currently we are getting image. So we are still at the R&D stage, and we've completed that. So what we want to do right now is to go into the clinical trial stage. Now, after the clinical trial, with the protocol, we have like having it done with 2,000 women. So after that, we go into the regulatory section where we're going to get approval and certification from relevant authorities. So from there, we can launch our MVP.
Oh, this approval, is it within Nigeria? It's outside Nigeria?
Well, I'm a Nigerian, and what brought about the whole idea is my community, you know, the people around me, what is happening around me. So the deployment is going to be in Nigeria first. Okay. So it's going to be deployed in Nigeria. Fantastic. So after Nigeria, we can now move to other African countries, because we realize that the problem is actually fixing the less underserved community. Yeah. You know, they are the one really facing this too, because they don't really have access to other screening technologies. So right. That is why we want to like start from Nigeria, then move to other African countries before we can now go take it to other Western world.
You've given me hope, because innovative discoveries like this are usually expensive when they finally get patented and distributed outside. So you're saying that you'll be made affordable to the women.
That's good. Well, we have to wrap up with you, Kemisola, but we thank you for coming on the show, because one of the reasons, as I said, when we heard your story, we thought it was an amazing story to give you our platform to share. And hopefully once you have the approvals, we can also help you to project and help you to make some sales, and we'll be happy to push it out internationally.
Yes, so please, let's be the first to buy. We want to buy.
Congratulations. Any final words? Any final words to us?
Thank you so much.
Any final words? Go ahead.
Well, I would say that the fight against cancer, generally, not just breast cancer, it's our work. You know, it's everybody's work, it's everybody's job to fight against, cancer. And for women, regular checkup, like, okay, breast self-examination is very important, standing in front of the mirror. I know we've all neglected that, and so even some women doesn't even know how to do that, but I think we should go on the internet or visit our doctors to teach us on how to do that breast self-examination, because the rate of breast cancer, it's increasing currently now in Nigeria, because now I'm an advocate and I visit some health facility to see women having that. So it's on the eye side, even among the young women. So my advice is for all women out there is to check their breast health often, regularly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So our next guest is our special guest for today. He's a Nigerian singer, songwriter, television personality, entertainer, entrepreneur, one of the most celebrated African musicians of all time. Oladapo Daniel Oyebanjo, popularly known as the Band Puppet Master in the building.
Like my Jamaican friends or Sinawata Budo Yawan, importer, exporter. And I must greet you specially. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you. 20 years, the band.
Yes.
I mean, you just recently marked it, and there's a lot of celebration. Tell us about the 20 years. How do you feel?
Please, before I answer any question, I have to do a special shout out to my mom, because this is her best show. Yes. This is her best show. I know I've been on so many shows around the world, but I'm not even sure she watches or she cares.
But this
particular one, she pushed me to come here, so we gotta look and say, hey, good morning, mommy show.
Good morning, mommy show.
Yes, thank you so much for making our day. Trust me.
Thank you, mommy show.
I'm ready for you now.
20 years.
Yes.
How do you feel like a veteran?
I'm filled with so much gratitude. It's been such a beautiful journey. All the pains, all the gains, everything. Today, I just sit here and say, I'm grateful that I'm the vessel that God chose to use. And I'm just humbled. Thank you, ma'am.
The time you broke into, our public scene, and we started consuming your music, this Afro-pop thing was a bit strange to Nigerians. And you had a group you started with. What's the relationship like today? How has it been on your own after you had to leave that group?
Okay, so I believe you're talking about More Hits. Yes. So myself and Don Jazzy, we came back to Nigeria, and then we launched More Hits in 2004, which is 20 years. So as I'm celebrating 20 years as well, Don Jazzy is
so congratulations to you.
And congrats, brother. And to just make it so great, I think about a week and a half ago, May 3rd, to be precise, which happens to be one of our brother's birthday, Macaroni. Myself and Don Jazzy were at his place, and we actually did a little video together, and we showed the world, because even though we've gone through our differences, we're in a great space now. I think one of the happiest things for us is whenever we speak, is to see that dream that we had and the vision that we have, we can actually see it happen. And so apart from him, every other person, be it Wanda Cole, Dr. Seed, the Prince, or K-Switch, my brother, I believe we are all such in a great place right now, and that's what life is all about. The fact that we can all come back together and celebrate. And I'm sure you're going to be seeing them as we mark these 20 years too, because they're part of the story.
Can I stay on that for a second? So was there a season of forgiveness? Was there a time where all of you said, you know what, let's throw it out and let's come? Was there a conversation, or just something that just happened naturally?
Oh no, there was a couple of times, but not as everybody. It was individually, because people had to go through their healing process, and I believe that because it was such a big thing that happened, everybody is entitled to feel the way they felt. But the most important thing is to see the light at the end of the tunnel and to be good.
You know what I loved about you guys was, even though you had that bust up and we all knew, nobody knew You didn't abuse yourselves in the papers. There was never
Dirtiness.
any. Yeah. So I think people should take a cue from that. And when you fight, just fight in private. You don't have to fight in public. I was going to say, you know, I remember when you first came to Nigeria, you and Don Jazzy, you used to play at the Shrine every time you came, you would have a concert at the Shrine.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was so amazing. And then it's amazing that you're going to celebrate your 20 years at the Shrine again.
Yes, yes. So,
It's one of the plans.
yes, no, yeah, it was supposed to be a surprise, but as I saw my granulate, I cannot hold it. So my birthday, granulate on the babylet level. my birthday is June 9, and so for the weekend, I thought in celebrating the 20 years, let's give back to the fans, and she just said it when we came. Our house was not too far from the Shrine, so that's why that was the only place we even knew. And then I remember that time, anytime I perform, so I kind of liked it. Then so we're going back to the Shrine, June 11th, to celebrate the 20 years anniversary with. Thank you so much. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. You will love it.
So I'm hearing a lot of maturity from the conversation, and I love the fact that you guys had a breakup and you kept it within the family.
Yes.
That's super amazing. I must commend you for that.
Thank you so much.
And commend every other person that was in it. So I wanted to ask this question. I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. What informed that word? The cocoa master, the cocoa, what's that thing? The cocolet, right? And then do you think that 20 years down the line, that if you look back, that you'll have still used that word?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I would say to you that even now that the world is more of social media, I think it's more of you having an identity. Yeah. And when I came into the game, I remember when I was so young, when we're watching shows, especially Yoruba ones, they say Koko Eroyi, Koko Eroyi, which means the bone of contention. And so most people never really understood, even when I was saying Coco Master, Coco like that, people thought it was Yeah, that's what they thought. But what I meant is anywhere I enter, I will be the cocoa, I will be the bone of contention.
It's a good thing you explained this thing, because it took you 20 years to get to
I like that.
Yeah.
I actually loved it when I saw that it kind of worked for the brand. And then people asked, and then I went on an interview, and every time you go there, they will ask you, who is your ideal woman? You're single, so before you explain, let the person be fine, let the person be this, let the person be intellectual, just say let the person be a cocolet.
Let me ask you concerning your mom. Because your mom seems to be a real cocoa part of your life, of your business. How involved was she in your business? How do you think her involvement has really helped your business to get to where it is today?
I believe that the foundation she gave us was actually everything for us. So, like before I came back to Nigeria, I had friends here, and especially someone like a rugged man, who were already colleagues, but it was doing so good. And so that time, Lagos was doing well. The entertainment scene was picking up. Everything was like, so I was like, what's happening? Jazzy, let's go back home. And Jazzy being not in Nigeria for that long, I was like, let's go, we'll stay for a year. And my mom was so welcoming. I remember we stayed in a house for so long. Our first car that we used, she gave it to us, and she gave us that. In fact, then when we got our place, it was just like a street, and then we used to use walkie-talkie to communicate. And it's just because you needed that foundation to be able to kick up, and we didn't even have the capital to do. So she gave us that foundation, she gave us that support. And now that I even see the way, shout out to Mommy Bona, now that I see how much work she's doing, I used to tell Mommy, Mommy, do you want to come? Let's do more. Because trust me, there's no love you will get more than that of a mother that can actually cover you, especially one that wants the best, not just for you, but for your vision.
I have to ask a follow-up to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does your spouse ever feel threatened by your mom's relationship with you?
Not anymore.
Okay. So there was a threat. There was a time where she felt that, okay, mommy is a bit too mommy in right now?
She just felt that I think it was more on me. I'm the one.
Always.
Yes, I don't do it.
So
let me stay on
that.
But most Nigerian men are mommy's boys. Even
No, they are not.
I thought so.
Maybe they are actually.
Oh, I'm a full mommy's boy.
my brother was, when my mother was alive, he was a mommy's boy. Most Nigerian men are mommy's boys. So I think what women have to realize that because they too are going to give birth to sons.
Oh, yes.
And their sons are going to be mommy's
Oh,
boys.
yes.
So,
I'm saying it already now.
so we just need to know how to accommodate and, But I wanted to ask you, because you look really good. You're
So much.
nice and slim.
Oh, very
and,
Nigerian.
maybe you should stand up and
Well,
show
it's
us.
Má bà Mike wá jẹ́ o.
Am I being a microphone?
If I can ask, how old are you now?
That's what I wanted to ask. Why did you take my question?
Because you need to ask, we are 63 years old, you're not asking a question quickly.
Wow.
Come on, keep quiet. Can you imagine this rude girl?
She's very old though. She wants to ask your age this morning, she has not asked.
I thought you were 43.
You just made YK's day.
Oh, wow.
You just made her
Vaj,
day.
how old are you? Looking good.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to be 44 this year.
Whoa, that's nice.
Thank you so much.
Do you exercise?
Once in a while, only push-ups.
Amaka wanted to do something.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to go back on the mother topic.
Moms, yeah.
Yeah, the mom, because I noticed somewhere that Ikechukwu had said that.
Oh.
Yes, had said that you were paying him a certain amount of money, like 50,000,
naira.
and later increased it to 150,000 after getting an approval from your mom, and that your mom had when it comes to business decisions, that she had a major say in everything that happened.
Wow.
What's your say on that?
Wow.
Yes.
I really wish that was the truth. Honestly, I think we would have even possibly not have broken up. Because but I think what she did was just be that backbone for me. And because myself and Don Jazzy, we stayed in my place. She just mentored us and she gave us that backing. She, when we needed, they paid for the video, they supported us. But beyond that, like I said, I was the one that she's my chairman, even till today. My company, my dad is the chairman, my mother.
Wow.
Is there. And
so, parents.
Yes, and that has actually helped us grow the empire. I wouldn't even be who I am today without
That's
them.
very good. It's good to see that testimony.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Close-knit family.
Oh, yes, I remember the first 2 properties we bought in Magodo. It was because my mom had helped us save, and I said, oh, Mom, and then they bought it from us. One from him, one from Don Jazzy, and today, today we are chilling.
But do you ever have any clash, any disagreements where she takes a decision and you think, no, this is old school?
Every time. Every time.
Oh.
Every time. I think we've been through it, but at the end of the day, I always just know that I think I've always come back to apologize to her.
Let's talk about some of your most memorable collaborations.
Oh, wow.
Which one do you think was like that you wish that you would like to celebrate in this 20-year celebration?
Oh my God! In my 20 years, I've had quite a couple, but I think the first one, the first major one for us would be the great one, which is the first international collabo with Snoop Dogg. Yes, that was I think 13 years ago. 14 years ago, we did the collabo, and then we went to shoot in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then we had the
That was
Rolls Royce.
Yeah,
and
remember
I think
that
was
time.
such a
That was
great.
huge.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's the most memorable for me, especially when I see what's happening today with Afrobeat, with our music. It was our vision, and to see that we're used to do that perfectly, it's great for me. So it would be great to see endowed.
There's a saying in Nigeria where they say school is scam and all of that. And most people just, when you ask them, I want to be a musician. Everybody wants to be an artist, and some of them role model after you. You are their model, and they think, oh, if the band can do it, I can do it. What role did schooling play in how you?
Especially when we just saw, what's that guy's name? The guy, the Malaika, what's his name now?
Portable.
That's that they recently arrested.
You have to come.
So people are saying that doesn't mean school is a scam. So just to connect with what you think school
I just
was.
wanted him to talk about school.
No.
Whether school played any role.
Oh, of course. Education is very key. I think school is the first place you even get to meet a different community outside from your own immediate home. And so you're not just learning in school by reading the books or reading this. You're learning by meeting other people, by getting to know what life is all about. And I think it helps you get grounded to know some rules and regulations. When you're in school, you have to abide by some things. You have to wake up at some time.
Yes.
So it helps install discipline.
Yes.
Beyond you reading and saying you're going to read
Exactly.
the book, you find yourself forming
Which is
to
the
be what
distraction.
you are.
Fantastic.
Your
I
creativity,
love the way you
to-
said that.
To sharpen it,
Yes, ma'am.
you have to put,
Find yourself somewhere.
Yes, at
Yes,
some point,
yes.
so one thing will give.
Yes.
So did school give for your creativity?
I would say yes, but it was perfect timing for me. So how did I find myself in London? So I was in Lagos State University, and then we had a long strike. And so I had to just say, let me look for away and then we'll come back. And then when I traveled was when I met Don Jazzy, you know. But as at then, I had already gotten to 300 level mechanical engineering. So I had already known that I don't want to be an office person, which you also find out while you're in school. You know, it's while you're doing different things, you don't find that your interest and no. That's why I always welcome schools that also do curricular activities, not that focus more on maybe like sports and all, because we help you.
We have to go on a very short break because when we come back, we'll talk about this. This is your new song. Since 04. Girl. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the band with us. So, I mean, because you're celebrating 20 years, it's important for us to even remind ourselves why you came home back in 2024 in the first place. What was that decision? What caused that decision?
So we have this October 6th, 1st or between, I think 1st or 6th, 2004. There was an independence show in London, and it was in Acne. And I think Idris Abdul Karim was the headliner, and that was my first solo performance as an artist. I'd been with JJC 419 Squad, Don Jazzy, we had been there, and I remember that they were built, they were the headliners, and then we got there, and JJ said if I wanted to perform, I could perform. And I remember Don Jazzy speaking to DJ Abbas. So shout out to DJ Abbas, shout out to Ayo Shonaya, those that did the show, because they gave me a chance. They said, how many songs? They said 3 songs. They said, no. We don't know him like that. Let him do 1. Then depending on how. And I think I went out and I did 1 song, and from there, the crowd went crazy. And then they said, no, let him do another one. Then I did Mobolo. And then they now went mad.
Crazy.
And then something crazy happened after that. The next day, a journalist in Nigeria who is an Egbon that I've now grown to say, his name is Steve Ayoride. Steve Ayoride used to work for Punch. Yes, former commissioner. And he wrote 8 paragraphs about me in Nigeria. And then my mom now called me and said, ṣé wọ́n nǹkan tó ṣe lélẹ̀ okay ṣá máa bọ̀ nílé tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run ní kò ṣe lélẹ̀ a máa support it. So it was that write-up from Steve Ayorinde that gave my mom that confirmation that I've been trying to push, is that, listen, this is what we want to do. And then I went to meet Don Jazzy. I said, Mom, see you, they said, will they come out? So, and I remember that was October. December we came. We released Tongolo. Make I tell them the coco. Make I tell them the coco.
That one just blew the charts.
Just blew everywhere.
Hey,
and then by February, I think March 25th, 2005, we now dropped the album, and they now booked us for show from London.
So I'm going to quarrel with you.
And I brought it to.
Please,
I knew you were going to ask me. Please, my Monica.
They should bring it.
Yes, bring it.
I'm going to quarrel with you because your mom has been trying to get you on this show for some years.
Yes.
I met her, she loves the show. I have that quarrel with you. I only just come in now.
I'm even upset with him because the band and I, we work very close together. Back when I was in High TV, I wrote Coco Mansion. We did Coco Mansion the reality show. And I practically wrote it from start to finish. Worked very closely with this man, and yet he didn't come on our show. Until now, after many years.
No, let me tell you why.
What's why?
Let me tell you why.
Why?
I can't even one last year, 19, 18, 17, 20 years.
We must bring back Coco Mansion.
Yes.
Coco Mansion.
That's it.
Something we did. We must do it together.
I must greet. Now you're going to make my mom totally just finish me now. Because she's going to come after and say, I want to take Coco Mansion.
Yes, because Big Brother does not have any competition right now. So it would be great to have another platform. This platform was there before, so why not?
I think it's an opportunity to thank people like you also, because if you didn't believe in the brand or that we could do it, there was no Big Brother then, and you guys took such a big opportunity. Toy Super not only did you guys do the production and it was so much, you guys paid us over $1 million.
Yes, we paid. Yes. Hell yeah, I know that. I know. I know you got that check.
So you see, part of celebrating the 20 years is to gather everyone that has been part of that story.
Yeah.
And I believe that celebrating my 20 years is not just mine, it's
Yeah.
for the industry.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Fantastic.
And if you would not mind, we would like to talk about the further business.
Sure, I have no
Coco
problem.
Mansion.
We are here.
If you guys want us to do
Yeah.
Coco Mansion season 2,
Yes,
please,
sir.
Mafisino, do that.
Yes, sir. We'll trend it.
Mama Led,
So
Morayo,
let us talk about
Abinde.
this, your song.
Yes.
So tell who wrote it? You wrote it.
So let me tell you, so I've been working on this album, but I actually told my team that I wanted something different. So January 1st this year, I was in Bayelsa with a brother of mine, Timaya. He has a concert he does. And then I met one of the best songwriters in Nigeria. You might know him, his name is Peruzzi.
Okay.
And so we got talking about my 20 years, and Peruzzi was there, Fino was there, Techno was there, and I said, listen, I want us to work, I'm gonna do this. And when we got back the whole of January, we got in the studio, and one of the first songs I even heard was Since 04. As I heard the beat, I heard it, I said, so makes sense, bye. And for that, we did it. So shout out to Peruzzi for...
You got to play that for for our viewers to hear. For those who haven't heard that song, it's been great for them to hear. But while you're getting that, let's take a few comments on social media so we can see what your fans are saying.
Yes, please. One more quick Freshito Momento. With the 21 forever.
Our Twitter people are frozen.
Oh. Okay, there's another question that came for you. You said that, what are some of the challenges you faced along the ways? I know we highlighted a few earlier, but what are some of the challenges in 20 years of being a leader in this industry? What are some of the challenges you faced?
Wow, I think part of what you learn after 20 years is, well, there's nothing that you won't have seen. So from betrayal to false accusations to just everything crazy. It becomes, you've seen everything. And that's why I said, when you asked me, how do I feel? I said, I'm filled with gratitude. Because it's the grace of God for you to still stand.
Let me ask you one small secret. Maybe hopefully our viewers will hear. When you are up there, the women, they really come like that? Because I always think it's just for the gram. But the women always really put up that kind of pressure on you where they are ready to just come around you and they just throw themselves at you. I always think it's just, you guys just lie about that just to feel all popular. But do women really do that? Do they stop that? Oh, wow. For real. See, it's like, we can't see. Are you serious? So you had plenty of women who were available in 20 years?
I'm unavailable.
I'm just saying back then, before you got married, when the band was, when the band was,
You're so correct about that. Even on
band.
Friday, we had a hosting at a place called Zaza, release party for this song. And I went there with my wife. And she's actually the one that, when we get back home, she'll say, hey, that one, this one, she was there. I say, oh, you saw them? Me, I don't see them. So I think it kind of helps you grounded.
Okay.
So it's not because you are this. I think that's what stardom attracts. You know, whether it could be you, it could be possible.
How do you manage your wife when she feels like maybe something happened and you just, how do you manage her emotions?
I think first of all, constant communication is very important. You know, when you have that right communication. And then I think it's also very important when you marry your friend and someone that you didn't lie about anything. You guys have a clear foundation. Hence why after an outing or after something, she can tell me what I don't even see. And I just sit down there, they laugh.
Let's play your song. I'll come to Amaka. Let's see the release Since 04.
Yes.
What God can
So what I wanted to ask was, so 20 years ago, we didn't have all the blogs pressurizing people and stressing everybody out. So 20 years after, we have the blog.
Yes.
So how has that impacted or affected the brand, or has it helped the brand? You know, because sometimes they say, when you're a brand, right, there's no negative news or good news, it's still news, as far as, you know, it's making the brand trend. So how has the blogging industry now affected the brand?
I think it's the gift and the curse. You know, and so it could help make you, and then it could also help, you know. And I think one of the biggest issue for me is before it was hard for people to just, they will have to listen to you or wait for you, but now opinions are just everywhere. Cyberbullying is everywhere, and I think just because they want to sell, they don't at your expense of the brand or your business, they can sell. So I think it's just important for people to kind of wait and know that the truth or the right information would come from the people. And that's why I've started acting more now. You know, our generation, I was the social. They are the media. Together is social media. But now, I don't enter with them. This new age, if you cannot beat them, you join them.
Yes.
So that's.
I wanted to ask you this because I noticed you, my nephew, all of you are wearing earrings. Why?
You got to So I'll tell you, so 2004, when I came back, I had only one person, and I've had just one since then. Because even then, when you're going, you also that mommy will not see. But in 20 years, so I got this year.
Wow.
It's just
painful, I'm sure.
Very painful. It took me like 2 more. I can't even remember one more thing.
I'm always fighting my nephew. Which one is this?
No, mom. It's part of it's part of it. My mom will love you. Oh God.
The question for you, go ahead.
BC says the bad was my crush those days. Oh, and he got married silently, no drama. How did he achieve this?
Marrying silently.
Without drama. You see, it will be funny. It will be funny if I say it again, but you guys will just say, but it's my mom.
Oh, you see, your mom was...
Mom, she actually planned everything.
Are you serious?
And she told me, okay, don't worry, this is what we're gonna do. So my dad's birthday is July 2nd, and so we're gonna celebrate my dad's birthday. I just say, this girl you're dating, bring her. Let's see, are you ready to marry? I said, I'm ready, but I'm not yet ready now. I want to do a big thing. She said, okay, you're gonna do that big thing. You do it, no problem, but just bring her for daddy's birthday. And as we finished daddy's birthday, they wrote daddy's cake and brought happy wedding.
You gotta be kidding me. Your mom planned this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. And the priest came to
the
join.
Priest was there. In fact, when the priest said something like, I think he said something like, I think you are surprised as I am, but I love it.
That's so
Wow.
Until today, I thank her every day because of how so far ahead she saw it, and how I see what social
Mothers
media
are so
is
precious.
doing.
Mothers are so precious. I have to ask this question. Since Nigerian music has gained global recognition in these recent years, how do you think your contribution has impacted the Nigerian music scene locally and internationally? Because now everybody's going to international awards. How do you feel about it?
I think not just my contribution. I can't take that glory alone, but before me we had the likes of Fela, the Baba himself. We had KSC, we had people before us come. And even during our time, I believe we just did our own to help push the narrative. And I'm part of what we're talking about, having that collaboration with Snoop 11 years ago. I think myself, Don Jazzy, and all of us just kept on pushing because that's the best thing you can give to people, visible hope. And so shout out to everyone out there that has contributed.
We have just about a minute left.
This happen.
Just to tell us the plans, 20 years or the celebration. We know Fela's shrine.
Tell them that one, June 11th.
June 11th.
The shrine. We're celebrating my 20 years anniversary. And it is free of charge because I'm coming to give back to you for all that you have given to me. And then December, we're going to have a Cocoa Festival.
Hey,
good. Just get ready and stand still. The album comes out June 7th, and we do Made in Nigeria. You know you like it.
Oh, it's Nigeria?
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And I love your dress sense and all your videos.
Thank you. It's now made in Africa.
What of the jury? Jury is not made in Africa.
It's actually made in Nigeria.
Really?
It's a Nigerian designer.
We need to connect.
Kidding me?
Yes, we'll cure.
Nice.
No, we have everything now. You just say.
There are lots of comments here. Everybody is.
Let's say a few.
They are hailing you. They love you.
We have to wrap
I
up.
want you to talk about this clash of who paved the way. He says,
We don't have time to talk about
Everybody
anything
paved
else.
the way. Everybody contributed their own quota in paving the way. You know that's and what they are doing now is paving the way for the next generation.
Thank you.
They are laughing that you couldn't answer my question. They say, why you don't ask grandma questions?
Please, our regards to your mom. Would love to also interview her at some point because it's been nice.
20 years. She's
We would love to hear our own perspective and how.
At the blow.
And how. That is all we can take on today's show. And our regards to your dad also.
Thank you,
and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
Please regards to them. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye for now.